Hey everybody, this is Alan Moore, certified financial planner and founder of Serenity Financial Consulting. Thanks so much for joining me. So I was recently giving a presentation to AARP's Ready for Retirement series, and an attendee asked me, how do I find a quality financial advisor? This is a really great question, and honestly one I don't get often enough, but it's really difficult to answer. Why is that? Because there's some people that have spent a lot of money lobbying Congress to keep it confusing and difficult to hire a really good quality financial advisor. If you frequent my blog or frequent this YouTube channel, you know that I believe in a couple of things. One, your advisor should always be fee only. Being fee only helps eliminate a lot of the conflicts of interest that exist in the product sales commission world of financial products. Number two, your advisor should always be a fiduciary. They should always be acting in your best interest, not their own. You should always be asking a lot of questions. Okay, there's a guide that NAPFA puts out with a list of questions you should ask your advisor, and you really need to ask all of them because it helps you kind of dig in to that advisor's practice. And number four, you should always do a background check on your advisor, and FINRA and the SEC have made that much easier recently. But all four of these steps takes a lot of time to find out. It's not as simple as just asking the advisor a question. So how do you know if it's worth spending the time and energy that it takes to dig into each of these questions? I want you to ask them one question. Do you have a license? So what is a license? Every financial salesman is required to be licensed by FINRA to sell financial products such as mutual funds and annuities. You cannot sell annuities without a license. Now, it's called the series. So they may have a series 3, series 6, series 7. All of these basically mean that they're licensed to sell a product. Why is this a problem? Because when selling a product, they are not acting in your best interest. They're acting in their own best interest, just like any salesman. You go to a used car lot, you don't expect them to sell you the best car for you. You expect them to sell the best car for them. Same thing in financial sales. What about the Series 65? So if you actually do a FINRA check on me, you're going to find that I have the Series 65, which is kind of the odd man out in the series because it's the one exam or license that allows me to give investment advice, but does not allow me to sell any financial products. So almost every state requires that all financial advisors have the Series 65 in order to give financial or investment advice. So every fee-only advisor you talk to will either have the Series 65 or will have exempted it. So just kind of disregard the 65. You're really looking for the others in the series. So the last point I want to emphasize is to be sure that you're on the lookout for salesmen wearing an advisor's hat. You see, unfortunately, salesmen can also be licensed as an advisor and can provide both services to the same client. What this means is that when they're giving you advice, they're acting in your best interest. But when they're selling you a product, they're acting in their best interest. Legally, this is called being dually registered. A lot of folks will call them double dippers. I call them crooks. Now, I know that isn't nice, but it's true. And it's an incredibly confusing practice that makes it impossible for you as the client or as the customer to figure out, are you buying a product? Are they acting in their best interest? Are they acting in your best interest? And there's just a lot of confusion. In fact, there's several countries that have actually made this practice illegal. But unfortunately, it's still legal here in the U.S. So what do you think? I hope that you will reach out to your advisor and ask him this question. Do you have a license? I would love to hear your story if you do about how that goes for you. And if you'd like, I can feature you in an upcoming blog post, anonymously, of course. So that's all I have for today. Thanks so much for joining me.